get the colors going here. It's a little bit darker tonight because I'm not going to put the light on over me because it gives me this thing where it puts like lines under my eyes, as you can see now. So we're going to leave that light overhead off and we're going to have the light over there on. Okay, and then let me get the other part up and running here. Let's see, all messages. There we go. So we are up and running here. Who's on here now? Let's see if we can get this up and running. We got 2 people on here so far. I just got back from seeing the movie Top Gun Maverick. I actually liked it. It was a good movie. We'll wait till we get a couple more people on here so we can get this rolling. And let's see, let me just shut this off too. But yeah, I was at the mall. The mall was actually pretty, not really crowded, but it was pretty crowded there today. Let's see, we're up to 6 people here. Let's get some people talking on here. Here we go. Sinfuls is on board. He's going to be our moderator tonight. How's it going, Sinfuls? Let's see, we got 7 people on here. Who else we got on here? DNJ Tom in the Philippines. We just watched Doctor Strange. There we go. That's different. Craig Jordan says, hey, Steve, from Hot and Sticky, Arjao, Cebu. There we go. DNJ Tom, what mall? At SM Tracy, we went to the movies there. They actually had, in 2 of the theaters, they're playing Top Gun Maverick. There wasn't many people in the movie, though. Actually, there was hardly any people because it's 300 pesos, which is, you know, what's that, $6? That's a steal, though, you know, to see that. See, Sinful says he just got up from a nap. Let's see, regular guy in the Philippines. I'm happy you're doing a live stream. Yeah, we've been trying to do it every week, but sometimes we get caught up in something, or you know, we have something come up or whatever. So we try to do it every Saturday. So if we don't do it on that Saturday, just come back the next week, and usually we're here. You know, BJ says hello, Steve. Good evening. Lazy Larry says good evening, Steve. How you doing, Larry? Good to see you on here. You too, BJ. And regular guy in the Philippines. I don't know if I've seen you on here before. Maybe you have. I'm not sure. I don't remember that name, though. DNJ Tom in the Philippines says, at SM Dasma, not many there either. Yeah. It wasn't like a really crowded night, but it was pretty busy there overall. RLB is on board. Good PM, Steve. Let's see. We've actually been putting out some good videos. We're going to have some more good videos coming out. We've had a lot going on this week, so we've been trying to get past that and then move on and just, you know, kind of get back to routine, you know. So let's see. Daniel Wykowski says, good morning, Steve, from Dan in Chicago. How you doing, Dan? Let's see. Brad says, hey, Mr. Steve, regular guy in the Philippines, says, Steve, how long did it take you to get 1,000 subs? Well, you know what happened? I'll tell you. I never thought I'd hit 1,000 subs the way I was going. I really had one of my videos. I don't know if YouTube promoted it just to get me up there or whatever. It was What is Rich in the Philippines that got me there, and for some reason it took off. I think it could be like 40 to 70,000 things, but that's what got me there, and it got me up to 1,000 really quick. In my first month, and I got monetized in the middle of the month, so I only had 2 weeks left, and it actually got me $400 because the people were actually watching the ads, and I was really shocked. But the people watch my ads because I don't have all that super chat stuff on there and all that. And I've kind of found that I'm better off not doing that to some respect because you get less trolls and everything, which helps a lot. They do have like a new thank you thing on there, super thank you or something like that. I don't think I'm not sure if I'll put that on or not. I doubt I will. I just make enough off of people watching the ads, you know. So I've been doing good with that. But as far as the 1,000 subs, I think it took like about 9 months. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at that. I think it was about 9 months or a year. It didn't happen like really quickly because I had to wait till that thing caught on, and then when it caught on, it went from like 200 to 1,000 almost like in, I'll say, about a month and a half. So because of from the 200 all the way up to 1,000, it was about a month and a half when it took off. But that was just blind luck, I think, in the beginning. But I think YouTube, if they see that your stuff is halfway decent, they'll push your channel a little bit if it's a decent channel, you know. So you get lucky sometimes. Joe Cunningham says, good evening to you, Steve, from Pennsylvania. How you doing, Joe? It's good to see you on here. Joe's getting to be a regular on here, which is good. Let's see, DNG, Tom in the Philippines. How about mid-morning to come by your house tomorrow? Let's see, that's Dean. Yeah, that should be fine, like around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'll get up tomorrow early, Dean. So at first I didn't catch on to who it was until I looked at the picture. Yeah, that's fine. 10:30 will be fine, okay? Dean lives fairly close by, and he's going to come by here tomorrow to check out the place over here, and we can have a good chat, I hope. Let's see. Paul Ritter says, good morning. It's cool, nice, cool morning in Colorado, 57 degrees and beautiful out. That's nice. I wish I had 57 degrees here sometimes. Let's see. Rizal Hassan says, you lucky because your girlfriend. My girlfriend, I've been with my girlfriend now for 8 years, okay? And she really looks out for me, and that's a huge plus. I mean, my girl's really, really good with me. She takes care of me in a lot of ways, and she's been by my side, and we have a really good relationship like that. I mean, everybody has their problems, but I mean, for the most part, for the past 8 years, we've had a lot of good times and a lot of fun together, And I remember the first couple months that I was first here, and we had a lot of fun. I think that was the best time of our life, and it still is the best time of our life to this day. Tom Pierce says, never got a notification for the show today. I'm not sure why that is. I know we put it up for 10 o'clock. That was what I put up I put as the thing, because we usually set up about a half an hour earlier so we can get up to about 100 by 10. So when people tune in at 10, we'll already have like 50 or 100 on there at least. So, because the first half is pretty much more relaxing than the rest. Then we start picking up speed and stuff, so which is good. Let's see. Joe Cunningham says, which do you prefer for pension? Fixed income, life annuity, or rollover IRA after retirement at age 60? I like the lifetime annuities. I actually have an annuity. Mine is not a lifetime annuity because I used it to retire early. So I did a 10-year annuity, and then by the time my Social Security kicks in, then I'll have the Social Security, so which is good. And Dean says, sounds good. Okay, so we'll see you around 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's no problem what time you come tomorrow. If you want to come at 12 or you want to come 10:30, that's fine. We'll be here. Okay, just give me a yell when you're coming or whatever. I'll be up. I'll probably be up around 8 or something like that. I'll take my shower and I'll get ready. Running Man 21 says, good evening, Steve. How you doing, Running Man? Brooke Snyder is in the house. General Trias in the house. RLV. No COVID test required for vax starting May 30. That's good. I like that. I wonder how they're going to do with the unvaxxed, because I think that's coming next. Sperlin Edwards says, hello from Connecticut, 10 days till flight. Oh, yeah, you're definitely coming then, huh, Sperlin? That's good. I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you, man. Make sure you check in with us when you get here. I think you got my phone number and everything. I hope so. If not, you can email me, ask me for my Philippine number, and when you get here, we can, if you want to get together, we can, or meet up or whatever. Okay? Sinful says, working for me when he actually goes live. Let's see. John Wolfhanger says, Steve just retired, moved to PI a couple weeks ago. Living in Cebu. Can I email you my PI phone number for some info for vets here? Yeah, you can email me and ask me for my phone number, and then you can call me during the day or whatever. Okay, we can talk. Hopefully it's not bad news, because there's always rumors about that they're going to close down the VA here, which I don't think they're going to, but I know they're shutting off some of the meds and stuff like that here, which is kind of rough on some of us. So, but there's always rumors going on. But I talked to that guy up there, so to put some of the rumors to rest, and he told me about, I think it was about 9 months ago, that there was no chance of them closing. And if he did, he would notify people that it was coming. So I don't think that's happening. I hope not anyway. Let's see, Tom Pierre, I have never seen a movie in the PI. Do they use captions like Thailand? Actually, they do in some of the Philippine movies, yes. But I went to see Top Gun today with Top Gun Maverick, and I liked it. I was really impressed by the movie. It was good. I mean, it was a little bit over the top, but it was a good movie. It was fun to watch. You like to have a movie a little bit over the top anyway. And I liked the storyline. You know, I won't tell you how it ends or anything like that, but it ends in an incredible way. It's kind of cool. So, and see, Vic says, is it recommended to own a car there, or is it a liability? Hope you're doing well. God bless. You know, I don't recommend anybody own a car over here just because of that liability. I tell people to be really, really careful, because you get in an accident here, man, they're gonna go right after you. So be really careful. And they're gonna hit you up for money, and you're gonna be afraid because you got in an accident. You're afraid they're gonna sue you, or what have you. Especially if somebody's hurt, or you hit somebody that's crossing the street, or God forbid, a motorcycle, and you kill them or something like that. If you're gonna drive, just rent a car. You know, that's what I do. I mean, it costs me very little to rent a car and a driver, and you're helping out them too. And that's the way I look at it, is you're helping out somebody. I think when you drive, I think it's way too much of a liability. Way too much, you know. So let's see. Dean Thompson says, I won't be up before 8 a.m. either. You sound like me, Dean. Sperling Edwards says, no vax if you have all 3 shots. Let's see. John Wolfgang says, thanks for all the great info during my preparation to move here. No problem, John. Timothy Darnley, any prediction on Game 7 season, the Heat? Any prediction? I think it is. I don't really have any prediction on that. I haven't watched that for a while. I'm a Celtics fan and a Boston sports fan, but I'm not a big follower of basketball. I like the baseball. I like hockey. I mean, I hope the Celtics make it, but we'll see. You know, no predictions though. Craig Jordan, Steve, has it been unusually hot weather for you? You know, I've been using the new thing that I bought to cool your neck, and it's been really, really sticky here because of the humidity. And then once it rains, it kind of clears up and it's kind of cool. But yeah, it's been really hot here. During the rainy season, the humidity kills you because it makes it feel like it's 130 degrees. It just does some days. It's really, really hot. You sweat and you're soaked. I use a lot of baby powder, let's put it that way. They have cooling baby powder here too, by the way, guys. You can buy different types of baby powder, and it's not just for babies. Some people don't like to use it. I use it and I'm okay with it. So BJ says early, that's the opposite of Filipino time. Yes. Sperlin Edwards says, I will, Steve. We got all your info. Good. Lee Davis says, hello, Steve. How you doing, Lee? Maximus, hello, Steve. Good morning. John Wolfanger says, retired military, just need some info from a veteran brother. If you need some info, you can contact me. I can give you information about the clinic here if you want to know about the VA or anything like that. Just email me at steven5975@yahoo.com. Steven with a V 5975 at yahoo.com, and I'll get back to you. Just ask me for my phone number if you want to talk to me personally. Okay. So again, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Just like I said, ask me for my phone number. Sinful says, Vic, having a car is just a personal choice. I myself prefer having my own car. Just be alert when driving and have a camera. That's the key. Sinful does drive around here, and he drives pretty good. He's pretty much adapted here to driving, because I've been with him a few times, and he's a good driver, and having that camera makes a difference for sure. See, Dean Thompson says, make sure you write the committee about your thoughts on the changes to the VA. They got back to me in a day or two. I think, Dean, you're talking about the meds and stuff like that. Those meds are cheap though, you know, and they've given me so many of that meds. I'll probably have like a year's worth of meds left. I take it all the time, but some days I need it more than others, you know. Dickie Spaz says, hello, Rain Man. Thanks. Jose and Luzon, I wrote them too. DNJ Thompson in the Philippines, I am with Sinfuls. There we go. So you guys live near each other, Dean? I take it. Joe Davis says, hey, from Myrtle Beach, 20 days and counting. I've been to Myrtle Beach. I have a lot of good memories at Myrtle Beach, man. Let me tell you. When I was in the service, we used to go up to Myrtle Beach on the weekends and stuff like that. And we used to sleep in the car. I used to have my best friend, my girlfriend, and and me, and we used to all three of us would be sleeping in the car, him in the front seat and the two of us in the back, just crashing out in the back, and we had a really good time there. We did a lot of stuff. There, a lot of memories. Let me tell you, I love it up there. Brooke Snyder, new cars are 50% more than same in the USA. Better to buy a new scooter. I don't know, Brooke. I don't feel safe on a scooter, so I wouldn't recommend a scooter. I use public transportation, and that's the way I feel safe. I'd rather jump on a bus with AC and have somebody else drive me, or rent a car and have somebody else take me. Joe Cunningham, were you affected by the earthquake last week? You know what? I didn't feel that one, and usually I'm pretty. I feel most small rattles here, even if it's like a 5 or a 4. Sometimes I can feel it if I'm sitting on the bed, but that day I didn't feel it, so no. I think you're talking about the one that was in the morning. No, I didn't feel that one. Sperlin Edwards says no travel insurance needed now. Also, that's good. I'm glad to hear about that one. Michael L says, good evening, Stephen. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you on here, man. Dickie Spaz says, I prefer my own vehicle, but the traffic and the way people drive, it would be a hard pass once I am there full time. I agree with you, man, Dickie. No way in hell I'm driving up against these people. It's no way. See, Jakika Angelo. Hi, Steve. Sorry I couldn't see you for a long time because we're here in Iloilo City, but I'm still watching you. Thank you. Sin Paul 2K, ATM here in our area is working. For any of you guys, there's a bunch of girls out there that friend me, and some of them do watch the channel, and I'm cleaning off my channel of a lot of extra people that I have on there that never contact me or anything. So if I delete any people, and mostly it's all the females, because they for some reason it's they want to check out on you, see if you're married or whatever, or you have a girlfriend or whatever. And you know what, I just don't need that on there, because I keep getting these people bothering me in the middle of things, and I go to check it, and then it's just some girl, hi, and that starts, and so I'm just deleting all that. So if I delete anybody by accident, just refriend me again, okay? And I'll let you back on. Just tell me, hey, it's so and so, and I watch you on YouTube, and I'll let you right back on. But let me see. Simple ATM here in our area is working. That's good, man. Because in our area, most of them don't work. Lately, though, the past couple days have been working pretty good. But when I had that day that was like 11 ATMs, that was horrible. And then the next day, I think it was like 4 I had to go through. So each day it's different. Siswell's DNJ, that is. Let's see, Vic. Is Tracy Materas a good place to find a good traditional religious girlfriend? Yes, absolutely. I would say so. The church I belong to, there's a lot of good, decent people in there. There's actually a lot of traditional religious girls. I mean, I think Tracy is an awesome place. I think that's true pretty much throughout the Philippines, except is in the city for the most part. And I'm not saying all city girls are not churchgoers, because some of them are, but I think you find more traditional girls just outside the peripheral edges of the city. Okay, that's where you're gonna find somebody that's kind of half and half, and that's what you want to find. Because if you get a girl from, I think a lot of province girls, they're not as educated, and I rather have somebody kind of in between. That's me. I know a lot of guys, when they come in here, they're looking for an uneducated girl, and I think you're asking for problems with that. That's just my opinion on that. Sinful says, Brooke Snyder, my vehicle I bought was cheaper than in the U.S. for a new Ranger truck. Yeah, some of the prices over here are pretty reasonable for the cars that I've seen so far, especially for those they're like 1.0s or 1.2s or something like that. They're a small motor, but they're a nice little vehicle, and they cruise along pretty good for what they are. And I'm sure they save gas, but I'm sure the motors don't last that long. They must be revving pretty high to move that fast. Diamonds and Legends is on board. He says, hello from Massachusetts, which is Massachusetts. Steve, enjoyed your video today about ATM. What steps can I take when I am in the Philippines to use laptop to transfer from my bank to U.S. bank in the U.S. to the Philippines without bank question who? I use Western Union, and I transfer from my bank in the U.S. to my BDO bank over here. You can also, if you're having problems with ATMs over here, you can transfer money to yourself to pick up, as long as you have the proper documentation to pick it up, like IDs and stuff. Um, that's what I do. But most of the time, I transfer it to BDO and then take my money out of there, because if I lose my US ATM card, it's harder to replace it. But if I transfer it to that bank and I lose my BDO ATM card, I can just go in and get another one, or I can take it out to the bank. So I'm safe that way. I don't like to use my US ATM except for mostly in emergencies. Although I do use it on occasion, I don't use it a lot. Okay, so that's like the best way to use it. Open up a Western Union app on your phone before you leave, because if you open one over here, it's going to be a Philippine Western Union account versus an American account. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, and you want to have the U.S. Western Union account because it'll be cheaper to transfer. It's only 99 cents to transfer money to yourself at another bank over here. Plus, there is a charge to transfer over to pesos, unless you open a dollar account, which I'm not sure what they charge for that. I haven't, because I transferred to a peso account, but I don't know if if you lose some money or something like that. I don't know if they charge you more for the transfers or whatever, but usually it's about 99 cents or a dollar or something like that to do the transfer. It's very cheap. So Dean Johnson with Sinful's having my own car. But let's see. WLB comments, driving out in the province is very much okay and nice. Lazy Larry, Steven, I bet one of your favorite Celtic played his college ball in my hometown, Terre Haute, India. Yep. You know what? I'm actually looking for a pair of shorts. They sell a lot of Celtic shorts around me, and I want to have his number put on there. So I want to have Larry Bird's name on the back of the shirt too. So I think that'd be kind of cool, because that's my time period. That's when sports were sports. Sinful says, Sin Paul 2K, they work fine in my area too. The ATMs. Yeah, in different areas it's different on the ATMs. Up in Manila, they're a little bit better up there. They're filled more often. I think because some of the stores complain and stuff like that at the malls. But around here, I don't think the malls really complain. They should be complaining because they lose customers when the people can't get money. That's a big issue. Let's see. Sin Paul says, I live in Imus, Cavite. So you live close by. That's good. If you ever want to get in touch with me, just let me know. Sinful says, WLB, or if you want to join our community here, we can get you in, and we have meetings every so often. Sinful's WLB comments here in Laguna, where I am, not so bad at all. Let's see, Michael L says, ATM, out of stock, Po, yeah. Diamonds and Legends says, sorry, rest of my question went before I finished it. Since I won't be in the USA to transfer to the Philippines, they will question why I am in the Philippines, transfer it to Western Union in the Philippines. They don't, when you first start doing it, send small amounts and they won't question it as much. Do like less than 500. I think you'll be okay. And then after you start working with Western Union, they'll start letting you do more, but do small amounts at first. And they're gonna ask you to upload your passport, which I did, and then they let you do more. Okay, so just do that, and they might ask you for your social security number, your tax ID number too, as you start doing bigger amounts. But they'll let you do it. They'll tell you what's the max and stuff like that. Patriot Pirate says, think PH is ever going to let unvax in ever again? Yes, they will. Just give them time. I think actually probably within the next 6 months they might do it. WLB says, Sinfuls, I live out past Antipolo a bit. Jills Guzman says, landing in a week, Steve-O. Hope my COVID test will be negative. There we go. Sinful says, WLB comments, good over here. Let's see. Michael L says, Patriot, just get vaccinated. There we go. Dean Thompson says, Steve, if anyone has any questions about ballot buy-in, we are going through the process. Okay. So you guys, if you see DNJ Tomp on here, Tomp in the Philippines, that's you got to talk to about ballot buy-in stuff. Brooke Schneider, Sinfuls, I was only looking at Toyota and Hondas. I'll check out the fix or repair daily now. Let's see. Tom Pear, Myrtle Beach is now nicknamed Murder Beach. Is it that bad there? It used to be a decent place to hang out. That's sad. RLV says driving here, you gotta turn on the granny mode on. Left them pass left and right. See, Sinful says Diamonds and Legends for me. Who is good at USAA? See, Vic says I heard buying a truck is a better option than a car in the Philippines due to the government mandate. Is that true? That I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea on that. I don't think it really makes a difference. See, I don't drive, so I'm not up on the cars and stuff like that. I just know that I would never stick my neck out into that liability. So that's why I don't even bother with that. I have my license over here, but I just use it more as an ID. Let's put it that way. Michael L. says city office girls are the best, perhaps because they are more educated and won't ask one for currency. It's probably true. I heard that a lot of the guys that go up to Manila, that stick around the Manila area and date up there, they get very lucky sometimes. Let me tell you, they meet nice people up there. I had a guy tell me he met a dentist up there, and he married the dentist, and we had another guy who married I think she was a doctor. I think he said it was a doctor. I'm trying to remember what she was. A dermatologist or something like that, I think. And somebody up north said he married another dentist too. Travel Discovery. Hi, Steve. How's your son's arm? It's still in the cast. We're going to take him in this week to probably get it taken off. So, or maybe they'll put another one on or whatever. We'll see this week. We'll find out more. The doctor here really soaked me. And I'm kind of fearful to go back to that doctor because of what he did. He when I walked in there with my girlfriend's daughter to bring him in, he saw him for like 10 minutes and charged us $100. So I was kind of shocked by that because most of the doctors charge you like maybe 1,000 pesos or something like that tops. So I was kind of a little bit ticked off about that. It was like 5 times what I expected. Manny Figueroa says, should one's retirement income be concentrated on a certain day or staggered throughout the month? Well, that's a good question. I think you're better off staggering it through the month if you can. If you got multiple retirement income, stagger it throughout the month. Put one on the first of the month or the last day of the month, and one on the 15th of the month. That's what I would do. You know, if you got 3 or 4 of them, then stagger them throughout the 4 different weeks if you can. Sasha Lee says, not all from provinces, uneducated. No, I agree. Me, I'm in the city, then I return once a week. No, I agree. There are some, I do know that people do travel back and forth to the province and stuff like that. But I'm talking about the girls that are like really, really far away. You know where I'm talking about, like way down south and stuff like that. And, sometimes I'll just say, and I've met a few. Some of them are very uneducated. They don't even know there's time zones. They just don't have a lot of knowledge. And it's funny because they some of them graduated from high school, and they don't know a lot of stuff. And it's kind of surprising sometimes. It just shocks me that somebody that graduated from high school doesn't know that there's time zones. They don't know a lot of the countries. They don't know a lot of their own history from here. So Sinful says, Brooke Snyder, LOL. Okay, good. I have 2 of those. No problems at all, being a Ford guy most of my life. I've always liked Ford too. Let's see. John Wolfanger says, I use Cebuano and send money to myself in Cebu for larger amounts. Let's see. Travel Discovery says, how much is a movie ticket, popcorn, and a soda? We paid 300 pesos, which is $6 for the movie. My daughter, she went and got the popcorn and soda, so I'm not sure how much that was. Hold on a second. Joanne, how much was a popcorn and a Coke, about roughly? 180 for popcorn and a soda for the bucket? Okay, for a large bucket. So it's about $3, and that was with a Coke? Yeah, and a Coke. So it was about $3 and something. That's not bad. It's not like back in the United States where they charge you $15 for a bucket of popcorn. Daniel Wajkowski says, are auto transfers from the U.S. bank to a PI bank a possibility? Auto transfers. If you're talking about like a wire a transfer from like a wire transfer, if your bank lets you do that, yes, you could do it. But I do it Western Union. I don't know what your bank would charge, but if your bank lets you do that, absolutely you could do that. I've never seen an auto transfer though to a another bank. At least not on my account. I can't do that. Craig Jordan says those are motorbikes. Those are motorbikes. Then people in our gal. I got one too. Diamonds and Legends. Thanks for the information. No problem. Michael L says Ford makes good trucks. Their cars leave a lot to be desired. Prefer Mazda for cars. I had a good Ford. I had several good Ford cars, and I liked them. Let's see. USA to Philippines life. Hey Steve. Hey everyone. Hope you're all well. Greetings from New Jersey. Let's see. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. John Wolfinger. My daughter lives in North Andover, Mass. I used to go over to North Andover a lot. There's a nice Chinese restaurant over there, and I used to go over by the lake over there too. I got a lot of friends over in North Andover too. And my dentist was actually in North Andover, so that's funny. Sinful says, in regards to driving here, I do avoid night driving as much as I can. Too many driving without any lights, insane. Michael L says, Steve, doesn't the malls in Tracy take credit cards like MOA does? Yes, most places do take credit cards, okay, but most of the stores I find like cash, but they do take credit cards at most stores now, in the malls at least. Not all of them, but some of the stores do. I find that a lot of and this is funny, a lot of the jewelry stores don't take credit cards, which is really weird. Sin Paul says, let's see, it says message retracted. I don't know what that's about. Sin Paul 2K, I am Filipino and I work in Makati as IT. Okay. Sin Paul, I just love watching your videos. Thank you. Dickie Spaz, that's a good job, Sin. Sinful says, Vic, never heard of any mandates in regards to vehicle to buy. I never have either. I don't know what that's about. JT, so I am waiting for my SRV to be finalized. Do I need to have a tourist visa before I come, or do I just come and they give it to you at arrival? They're going to give you your tourist visa on arrival for 30 days, but you need to have an onward ticket to prove you're going to leave. And we call it a throwaway ticket here in the Philippines. Just get an onward ticket to Singapore, and you can get cheap tickets to Singapore from here on some of the internal airlines, the domestic airlines over here in the Philippines. You just need to show that when you get, they might ask you for it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but you have to have the onward ticket. That's like one of the rules they've always had here. Dave Evans says, good morning, good morning, Steve. Hello from the North Woods. Hope your child is doing better. He actually is. He's going to have the cast probably taken off this week. They're going to check it out and see if he needs it on for longer or just leave him without it. I think he's pretty much okay. It did snap in half, so it's pretty rough. Let's see. Waymore says, hi, Steve. Just filled up my excuse me, my gas tank this morning, and the value of the car doubled. There we go. A cheap place to get gas is Taco Bell. That's what I heard. Dickie Spaz says, ha ha. Vic says, can any U.S. citizen living in the Philippines self-send a ballot buy-in box to myself before departing the U.S. to the Philippines? Absolutely you can. Sure. Yes. If you're going to be here by the time it gets here, sure you can. Just send it to yourself. If you have your address already, do it. WLB comments, okay, have to run. Have a good chat. Thank you, man. Sinful says, Michael, yes, we have my Ranger and the Everest, both really good. Sinful's actually has two nice, really vehicles. I will say that. He has two really good vehicles. Let's see. BJ says, wow, you got skin taxed by a doctor. Yes. I didn't like that. That really bothered me because I've never had anything that bad happen to me before here, and I never expected it from a doctor. I also noticed that my dentist was starting to do that, and I'm going to have a talk with him next time because I send him a lot of people, and if he's going to do that to some of the people that I send to him, I'm not going to recommend him anymore, which is kind of sad because I had somebody else, another dentist. She didn't do the skin tax, but she told me I had 8 cavities that I didn't have. So, and that doctor, the dentist that I'm talking about, he's actually a good dentist, so I want to stick with him. He didn't really overcharge me like the other guy, but I noticed he went up a little bit on his prices. Now that could be because he was almost shut down during COVID. It could be that he's trying to make a little bit of that back, and that's okay. I'm gonna talk to him about it next time and see why the prices went up. Because he is a good dentist. I do like him. He's still fairly cheap, but not as cheap as he was. So no matter, it's still way cheaper than the U.S. either way. Let's see. Dickie Spaz says I need to take out a payday loan to fill up my truck. There we go. Joe Cunningham says, is there an agency to hire a housekeeper 2 times a week? I'm sure there is. I see them all over the telephone poles, where you can call those places because it says that they're hiring. So you would call one of those places on the telephone poles that hire maids and stuff like that. Actually, up top here, there's a telephone pole up there, and it's covered with people looking for jobs like maids and nannies and all that stuff. And if you called that place, I'm sure they'd send one over twice a week. But you can just talk to somebody in the neighborhood. Don't go to one of those places. Hire them yourself and just do it that way. BJ, you read my thoughts about the skin tax. Lee Davis, i.e. Simnacourt. Sinful says, Michael L., I have yet to find any major stores or in the malls, no except CC. Around here, what was it, at Dasma, there was a place there that was giving me a hard time with credit cards. So, but a lot of them are switching to that, what do they call it, Gcash and PayMaya, and I guess you connect right to your account, or maybe even the credit cards on those. I don't know. I don't use those, so I don't know that much about them. But I know that some of the stores don't accept credit cards, but most of them do take it. Like SM takes it. Most of the major supermarkets take it. But some of the small stores, they will give you a hard time sometime. And it's usually the stores that are not like franchises that for some reason they don't take the credit cards. And I'm not sure why. And most of the kiosks there out in the middle of the mall, they don't take credit cards either. So like if you're trying to buy something from one of those people, like vitamins or something, they say no credit cards, sir. Because they don't, I'm not sure why, but they just don't do it. Suri says, hi, Steven. Nice to hear from you live. There we go. Thanks, man. Lee Davis says, cost for inhalers, Symbicort. I'm not really sure. Actually, Lee, if you want to find out, go to Mercury Drug in the Philippines prices. Okay, you can when you go to Mercury Drug in the Philippines, you can type in what you're looking for, and it'll give you the cost of what it is. The same with Watson's. So Watson's or Mercury Drug here in the Philippines, go to their main website, and you can find that out really, really quick. Any of you guys looking for prices on things, just go right to their site, Watson's or Mercury Drug, and then that'll help you. It's a big help on there too, because it usually gives you a good price on there. Craig Jordan says, Ford Explorer. That's what I used to have, 4-wheel drive. Justin in Arkansas. Justin actually went home for a while from here. And so he says, after driving motorcycle there, it is weird here following the laws, like stopping at intersections and staying in one lane. Can't wait to get home to Tracy. Well, Justin, we can't wait till you get back either, because I miss hanging out. So I'll be glad when you get back here. Justin's probably one of the better expats here. Justin is a phenomenal expat here. He's really an asset, not just to the expat community, but to the Philippines itself. And I'm saying that, and I mean it too, all the way. Youssef Juhani says, hello, everyone. Hello, Stephen. Greetings from KSA. Alton Randolph says, greetings from Houston. I will retire there next year. There we go. BJ says, Craig Jordan, I hear ya. Sinful says, Vic, yes, you can send boxes to yourself. Yes, absolutely you can. Dean says, please click the like button. Only takes a second to do it. Thanks, Dean. John McKenna says, how hard is it to get a One Health Pass? You just download it. The One Health Pass, you just download it. It's an app. But make sure you watch some of the videos on it, because it works a certain way, okay? So you want to be really careful with that. USA to Philippine life. When I retire to the Philippines, I am leaning towards retiring from driving too. I don't know if I'm going to totally retire from driving, but in the Philippines, I won't drive. I will say that. If I ever go back to the States to visit, I'll probably drive again. Craig Jordan, no stoplights in much of Negros and Cebu provinces. Sinful says, JT, after your first 30 days, you need one extension of 30 days. Then you can get your 6-month visa and ACR card. Yes. That's as far as tourist visas. Let's see. Vic says, it's so sad in the U.S. Poor school kids are getting slaughtered simply attending school. Hope Filipino kids don't have the same mental issue facing U.S. kids. Truly sad here. Michael L. says, Steve, Ford Escort. I had a Ford Escort. I actually like the Escorts. Those lasted a long time, too. I had a Focus, too. I liked the Focus. The Focus was a really awesome car. I never had a Fusion, though. Are slow to accelerate. My Escort, my Focus never had any problems. Let's see, Ford Escort also had reliability issues. I never had any reliability issues with the Escort or the Focus. The Ford Mustang is fast, however, it does not corner as well as a Mazda 3. Suri says, I hear that to live in Thailand or Vietnam is cheaper than in the Philippines. What do you think? I've never lived in Thailand or Vietnam, but from what I'm seeing in Vietnam and some of the places, if you like street foods, and I hear that they're a lot cleaner on the street foods there and on the restaurants in the Vietnam and also in Thailand. And from what I hear in Vietnam is that it is cheaper to live there, okay, and in Thailand also. But it's the language issue, and that's why a lot of people end up coming to the Philippines. And I think the girls are a little bit different in the Philippines. They're a lot sweeter and kinder and different, and they speak English too. So, Raj and Bing in Bingala Travels, do you think it's worth getting a permanent resident visa if in the Philippines long term? I think you're talking about the retirement visa. Yes. If you can get the retirement visa, get it by all means, because you don't have to leave. You don't have to leave every 36 months. And if we ever have a COVID thing again and you have to leave, then you can't come back because of the COVID. You might be able to leave, but you might not be able to come back. See, Juan Murillo says, Steve, can I get your contact info? My contact info is steven5975@yahoo.com. And you can email me there and you can ask me any questions, or if you need to talk to me on the phone, just ask me for my phone number, okay? And I'll talk to you. Craig Jordan, Surrey, language barrier is the trade-off for Thailand and Vietnam. Exactly, just what I said. BJ Taco Bell, nice one, Steve, LOL. USA to the Philippine life. We're planning to send a balikbayan box ahead of our late September trip. Holidays gets, etc. Way better than traveling with all the extra stuff. I agree, man. It is. That makes a difference. Brooke Snyder had x-ray, blood work, and consult with doctor at a clinic in Tracy for a total of $17. Yeah, at MedTech. Was that at MedTech, Brooke? Because MedTech is fantastic. I love MedTech. I love the doctor there. I love the people there. And it's cheap. Really, really cheap. Sperlin Edwards says, does Iloilo have an immigration office there? I'm sure they do. It's a big enough city where they would have one. I don't see why they wouldn't. You could check online probably. I would say yes. Gene Lamb says, I will be stopping to Hawaii before I proceed to the Philippines. Hope you're all doing fine. John McKenna says, can you still get cheap rentals there? Yes. Around here, you have to wait a little bit longer, but yes, occasionally they do come up and we do get lucky on them when somebody moves out or something like that. There actually is one or two still in the neighborhood right now that are available. Maybe three. Okay, some of them need a little love and care and might need a paint job before you move in. You might be able to have the landlord do that, or you can do it yourself or whatever. It's always kind of fun fixing up your own place. I think so anyway. Some people don't want to. And some landlords won't put the extra money into it, so you just move in and fix it up yourself. Joe Davis says, yes, Myrtle has changed so much. Balto has moved into the main Myrtle and is drifting north. I see Sinful says, Symbiocourt is about $16 for an inhaler. I use that also. Edward says, Edward here from Chicago. Welcome, Edward. Today I went over to Tagaytay to a friend of mine, Angie and Dan's house. It was that house that I showed in Tagaytay, the one that's white. And they had a housewarming over there, and I had a lot of fun over there. I got to meet my friend Angie's husband and her for the first time, and Angie and I have been talking online and stuff. And she asked me to do her a couple of favors to show the house and stuff like that. And I told her absolutely I would. And just a really nice couple, really beautiful people, and I really enjoyed meeting them. So there's a lot of wonderful people here in the Philippines, and we have a lot of great expats here too. Just tremendous amount of expats. We have our bad ones too, but for the majority of people here are decent, great people in our area. JT, finishing question: should I get a PI attorney? I'm not sure for what. Let's see. It would depend on what you need one for. I'm not sure. If you're using it for a visa, like a retirement visa, contact me at Steven5975 at yahoo.com, and I'll hook you up with the lady that does the retirement visas. Okay, but as far as other types of visas, yes, I would probably get an attorney, or some things you can do yourself too, but it's easier if I would definitely get an attorney if you're trying to do anything other than an SRRV. Okay. Mr. Brister, I am into volunteering here. Are there any opportunities to volunteer for good causes in the Philippines? Steve, I truly enjoy your channel. Mr. Brister, there are a lot of places to volunteer around here. There's actually an orphanage down the street from my house. We actually have about 2 or 3 people that send me money to give to the orphanage every month, and it helps those people a lot there, and it's a big help. And it's great that those people do that, because they actually send quite a lot of cash, and the people there at the orphanages, that helps tremendously over there. So it's really good. BJ says, I think you can get 1 Tylenol at the doctor in your states for $17. That's probably true. Well, actually, a bottle is probably like $10 or something like that. Now, who knows? Just the Bill 02 says, is Amex accepted or just Visa? Mostly Visa, I see over here. Visa and MasterCard. I haven't seen too many American Express things over here. I haven't seen any stickers for that at all. Not that I'm looking for them, but I mean, I usually look to see if there's any credit card things up there. And usually most of the people don't put them up in the windows for whatever reason. Maybe they do on some stores, but most of the ones around here, I've noticed they don't have it. JT says, Sinfuls, thanks. I will have a SRV courtesy visa as ex-military with a pension. JT, if you're going to do the SRV courtesy visa, contact me and I'll help you with that. And you won't have to pay your agent. Okay, the agent is free. She gets paid by the PRA, the lady that does it. Okay, so just FYI. So if you need help with that, I can help you on one end and she helps you on the other, and I don't make a nickel off of it. So, Michael L says, Mr. Brister, be careful with charity in the Philippines. The Inquisitor channels will come after you like a mad horde of orcs. I agree. That's why I don't do any of that stuff. These people, they send it, I pass it on, and I save the receipts because I'm not a charity here. But we do have those types of people out there, unfortunately. There's a lot of people, man, that like to butt into your business over here. Let me tell you. I was actually dealing with some stuff this week having to do with some stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, there's some people out there that are going crazy over this stuff. They get jealous of your channel or what have you. Sinful says, Michael L., I had a Focus ST in the U.S., very fast and exceptional handling. Sinful says, USA to Philippines life, yes, much cheaper than baggage costs. Give it about 8 to 12 weeks right now. Way More says, Steve, will we ever see you completely shaved? How long have you had a mustache? I think I've had this for over 30 years now. It was in my 30s, I think, my mid-30s. Actually, it's probably my early 30s. I think I started the mustache and beard and everything. As soon as I could grow a beard, I did it. At first I didn't think I was going to like it, and then I liked it, so I'm kind of a beard person. I can go without the beard, but I don't like it. Michael L. says, I've had a Ford Escort on 2 different trips from St. Louis to Toronto, and the engine blew out, 4-cylinder, and on another, the transmission blew out. After that, I just took a plane and rent a car. Michael L. says, maybe the 1,500 kilometer drive at 130 kilometers an hour just was too much for it. There we go. Sinfuls, just a bill too. I use my Amex quite a bit. USA to Philippines life. Iloilo is our PH home base. Yes, they have an immigration office. Yeah, most of the major cities here have them. Dean Thompson says, Vic, we have been here a month and sent nearly 20 ballot buying boxes to ourselves here. Let's see. Michael L says, I love my Amex Platinum for flights and my Amex Gold for groceries and dining. Just a Bill 02 says, cool, thanks, Sin. JT, attorney for taxes. Okay, attorney for taxes. Yeah, if it has something to do with taxes, um, this is what I recommend. Okay, if it has something to do with taxes, I wouldn't get an attorney. I would get a CPA because that's what I got. Okay, do it that way, and you'll be all set. Okay, they're usually pretty good. They know what they're doing. They register. If you're talking about a business, they register your business. They take care of all that. So yeah, get a certified public accountant. You'll be good. You'll be okay. George Fair says, hello from Toledo, Ohio. Michael L says, Steve, when I was there over Easter, most places in Pasai took Amex. Okay. Are you talking about up in Manila, though? Because Manila is a whole different ball game, because I don't see any of the Amex around here. I never really looked up in Manila that much, though. But, yeah. Let's see. Clint Eastwood is in the house, and he says, hi, Toon from Ireland. I was in the Philippines for a month in March, April, going back in October. Please put a contact link to get in touch. My contact, Clint, is Steven5975 at yahoo.com. And you can contact me on there and ask me for my number if you want to call me, or if you just want to talk to me on there, that's fine too. I usually take 24 to 48 hours to get back to emails, so just FYI. And if you call me and I don't answer, just call back. If you leave a message, I usually don't check my messages that often. Philip Jones says, be careful doing volunteer work with a tourist visa. They can deport you. Yeah, they did put that out there about that. David Evans says, just come on to video. Is there any changes on coming to Philippines, like testing requirements? Just come on to videos there. Yes, they have some changes. They removed some stuff. I'm not sure what they did because I don't really. That's one thing I don't cover that much is about that. But they just had some changes come out today. I think they took away some of the testing for vaccinated people and stuff. So, and some other stuff. But you may want to double check on it. JT says, I will contact you on the SRV, but thanks. No problem, man. I can help you out with that. Sinful says, Dean Thompson, the Philippines. I have sent 32 LBC to here. Motivation echoes. Bear is your brand, Steve. Let's see. Glenn Ramundi says PI. Sinful says Steven5975 at yahoo.com. That's right. Thanks for that, Sinfuls. Glenn Ramundi says, sorry, I accidentally pressed while typing. Franz Xavier says, hello from Switzerland. There we go. Let's see. Gringog says, do you have any new recruits coming to Angeles City? No, not yet, man. Waymore says, Michael L. Carjacking for some reason here in Toronto have rocketed this year. Okay, let's get some more things on here. Comments. We're at the very end of the string here, so I'll wait a second here. Well, I'm on here. I was gonna comment today. I was out and about today a lot, and I was talking about, like, I went to see the movie here at the theater, Top Gun Maverick. It was a good movie. And you guys might want to go check it out. If you're in the military, you'll like the movie. It's kind of good, but it's kind of unrealistic on some of the parts of it. I thought they added a little bit too much stuff that was just impossible. And other than that, it was a good movie, But it wasn't like the first one. It was more fictional. Let's put it that way. So be a little bit different seeing something like that. But when you watch it, it's like, man, that can't happen. That's just impossible. See, here we go. James Franklin says, I heard they canceled insurance to get in. Yes, that is true. They did cancel insurance. So let's see. Justin in Arkansas. And with calling Steve, figure out the time difference before calling him. Yes, Justin knows about that. I have people calling me sometimes at 2 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they call me and it's on my Magic Jack number, and it gets to be a bit much. Now I've learned to shut off my phone and stuff, but yeah, Justin knows because Justin's been here when I was complaining about it a couple times. Vegan Driver says, hey, love your channel. Thanks for everything. Let me see. Everything you do. I've been planning to move to the Philippines for almost 3 years, and you have been a great wealth of information. Thank you, man. Gringo says, we need a lead guy for our Angeles City group. Do you have anyone for us? No, I don't. Elliot in the Philippines, that is correct. Insurance is recommended, but not required. let's see. Hold on. I just lost the whole chat. Let me see. Here we go. Michael L says way more. Last time I was in Toronto was 2003. Spent a lot of time there from 98 to 03. JT says my tax question was I am going to be working 1099 and PI from US in software, and I will pay PI and US taxes. No, you're only going to pay one or the other. Wherever you live the most is how you're going to pay your taxes. And you're gonna have to fill out some paperwork too. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you have to fill it out, and you still have to report it to the U.S. Okay, so trust me, I've been through all that stuff, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. And they do, believe it or not, they do take out some taxes in the U.S. too, not just from the PI, but they take it out for the U.S. too. So just be aware of that. I think it's for Social Security or something. I'm not sure, but my accountant in the United States took care of that, and then my accountant over here takes care of the taxes over here. Gringog says I really liked the movie. Also, it is a good movie. Yes. See, Chuck Allen says would you trust Balik Mayan box for items costing $1,000 US? I think you get a certain amount of insurance, but it's not much. Let's see. I think Sinfuls would know what the insurance is, but I think it's low. I think it's like $200 or something like that. So Sinfuls can answer that. Sinfuls, if you're still on here, what is a Balik Mayan insurance? He'll give you the answer to that. Michael L says, JT, does the U.S. firm you are taking the contract from know you are in the Philippines? Let's see. Michael L says, let's go, Brandon. He pees sitting down. Okay. Franz Xavier says, do you need booster vaccination next time I visit, possibly by October? No, you don't need the booster. You just need to be fully vaccinated. That's it. Sinful says, Chuck Allen, just package items. Well, I had a few items that were broken. One item, my most valued possession, but luckily Steve's wood craftsman repaired it. Yes, he did. The guy across the street repaired that, and he did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I saw the work that he did, and you couldn't tell it was ever broken. Brooke Schneider says gas price in Ontario is $2.09 a liter. Let's see. James Franklin says they cancel tests as long as you have the booster for one or two. Have the booster one or two booster. I'm not sure of that. You guys might want to check online though about that, because they do have a lot of confusing stuff out there. That's why I stopped covering that, because every day it's different. Every day they change something. Robert Wilkins, I bought my house in Imus in April. We'll be moving there in December. See you then, Stephen. Sure, man. Michael L. Those who are boosted allegedly no longer need travel insurance or COVID tests before going to the Philippines, per Jennifer Terry channel. Okay, interesting. So if you have the booster, okay. See, Chuck Allen says, Sinfuls, thank you. JT, Michael, yes, U.S. software firm is hiring me to run Asia while living in PI full-time. I will get a CPA there. Sinfuls says, I think it is $200, but I believe you can buy extra insurance. Okay. Gringog says, seeing lots of signs of China, Taiwan getting hot there. I think yes. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going on pretty soon with China and Taiwan. I hope not, but I can kind of see it coming soon. Edward says, Express VPN, log into US, then transfer. Larry Francis says, hi, friend, love your walks. I was there in May. Thanks, Larry. Gringog, Brandon is all in on Taiwan. That's a good thing, actually. That's about the only thing that I like about this guy. Not much else I like about him. Gurkha 9, one booster needed to avoid PCR test entry requirement. I got the one booster. Simply Rocco, I'm not sure I'm going to get a second one though. Simply Rocco, good evening, Steve. Yusef Yuhani, gas price in Saudi, $0.58 US. Michael, my escape plan is to Guam if that happens. Yeah, if something does happen, Guam is actually going to be one of the targets, believe it or not. So, Michael, you may want to be aware of that because China said they're targeting Guam if the United States gets involved. So, it may not be that. I don't think it's going to be that safe. Big target for China, just like Sinful says, big target for China due to U.S. military there. We have a lot of weaponry there. And I think that China would definitely, I'm sure that Guam right now is getting set for any stuff like that. They're probably getting anti-missile stuff there, any of that stuff. But I'm sure that if China does something, they're going to like totally bomb the hell out of that area. And I don't think that the weaponry could keep up with it, to be honest with you. BJ says, Steve, did you have to get a business license and the PH for your channel? Yes, we had to get all that stuff, so we had to go down and take care of all that stuff. It's all taken care of, so that's the good part. Does having an SRV visa change anything as far as owning a business there? Not really. The SRV lets you actually work here. A lot of people don't know that, but you do need to, make sure that you're all registered properly and everything. We had to register and get a name and everything. So, my accountant, she takes care of all that stuff. I actually have to talk to her tomorrow about some stuff too. Michael L., my escape plan would be to Singapore. Gringog says subs are going to play a key role, do you think? Yes. I think subs are going to play a key role in anything Taiwan. I can tell you that right now. And that's why China is going all in on sub detection and stuff like that. So subs are going to be definitely a key role for sure. Gary Z says Brandon missed the opportunity to visit the Philippines while on his Asia trip. What a shame. Yes, very true. Yusef says, is Guam part of the United States? Yes, it is. It is a territory. Mark Lapierre says, good morning, Steve. Wishing you and your family a blessed day. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Philip Jones, the B-1 bomber is in Guam. It's a small island. Yes, the B-1 bombers are there. They would probably take off at any sign of anything coming towards them for sure. They would be doing the elephant walk or whatever they call it there. They would be leaving the island as quick as they could get off. Michael L. says Yusef since 1898. Yusef says thanks, Michael. Larry Francie says I love Davao City, clean, and then Tacloban. But to get back to Guam, this Guam's got a big target on it from China. If anybody thinks they're going to head there and be safer there, if something happens, it's going to be worse, Let's see. James Franklin says Guam is putting a big missile system in, moving Marines from Okinawa to Guam. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Sentinel, good evening, Steve, and hello to you all. Finally, I got to see you live, Steve. Thanks, man. Let's see. Gringog says, I disagree with you sometimes, but treasure your input in your channel. Thanks, Gringog. I appreciate it. I know sometimes you and I have disagreements. Let's see. JT says, China has some very quiet diesel electric boats. Tough to detect. Yes. I actually think that the United States should start getting some electric diesel boats for their coast. I know Taiwan wants the United States to build some diesel electric boats for them, or give them some military engineers to do stuff just to protect their coasts. That's it, which would be a great idea for Taiwan, by the way. JT says China has become very quiet diesel electric boats, tough to detect. Yes. The only problem is when you go up to charge those up, you have to go up like every 7 days or every so many days, and they don't move fast. They move slow, and that's a problem. There's a lot of technology out there that's advancing stuff, and they can get away from nuclear too. I think the U.S. will be away from nuclear probably in another 10 or 20 years, and we'll start going towards something new because there's so much technology coming out. We may even go back to some sort of diesel boat thing. Who knows? But I don't think it'll be diesel. I think it'll be something different, some new technology. But there are talks about having coastal diesel boats, which would surface every 7 days and go out, so that's kind of cool. JT, China has some very, let's see. Sinful says, I believe you would be safer here in the Philippines and Guam by a long shot. I believe that to be true too, Sinfuls. Philip Jones, we need to transpose Subic Bay to our naval base quickly. That will make a big statement to our support in the South China Sea. Actually, it's becoming a Philippine naval base. I know they rented a dock there for some of the ships. I think eventually that'll probably be some U.S. ships too, because we are working with them. There's supposedly 5 bases that the U.S. can use over here, and I heard that there are American troops there already, but nobody has seen them. My voice is getting a little bit hoarse here today because I've been talking a lot today. Dennis McLeod says, if you're thinking about moving to the Philippines, watch this channel. Common Sense is Steve's middle name. Thanks, Dennis. Let's see. Gringog says, thanks for your wisdom and desire to love Philippines and Filipinos. Thanks, Gringog. Michael L., the U.S. should give Taiwan atomics to deter China. I'm not so sure about that. I could see tactical nukes or something like that. Maybe that might be actually a good idea. But if you do that, I think you're going to infuriate China even more, and you might be inviting issues. JT says U.S. should bargain to open PI, Subic, and Clark again. I don't know if that's going to happen with this new president. It might. I don't know what this guy's going to do. Be interesting to see in the next 6 months where he's going to go, because he said he was going to swing more towards China when he was running. I'm not sure where he's going to go, but we don't talk too much about that stuff, so we try to stay off the Philippine politics because that's their stuff. But he did say that. So, Sentinel, how's your neck air conditioner, Steve? Is it still good? Yes. I was actually using it today. It lasts about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, somewhere around there. It keeps the back of your neck cool, which makes you feel cooler. It blows the air up your neck too. The air is a little cool, but it's more of the neck cooling in the back and cooling the spine in your neck. So it's good. I like it. Michael L. says fuel cell subs have air independent propulsion. Yes, AIP. I heard about that. The Swedes and the Germans use them. I read about that. The Swedes are way ahead, and the Germans are way ahead on a lot of the technology out there. When I was in the military back in the 1980s, I went on a German sub, and let me tell you something, their technology was phenomenal. Everything was miniature, everything was small, and everything was quiet. And they didn't have much room in there, but let me tell you something, it was a cool submarine to look at because of the stuff that they had in there. Was technology-wise was so much different than the U.S. U.S., everything's big. It's like Texas, everything's big. But you look at the Germans, and everything is tiny and small. It's really weird. And I've never seen the Swedish subs. I wish I could have seen one of those. Rory Bellamy says, Cleveland, Ohio, cool 62 Fahrenheit. There we go. Gary Z says, China is investing a lot of money in Philippines infrastructure. China buys influence in the Philippines, and that worries me. Politically, the U.S. doesn't have much influence there anymore. Gringog says, I've heard Bong Bong talk, and he sounds rational and pro-West when cards are on the tables. His English skills are excellent. Yes, he speaks English very well. I'm not sure how he's going to head, though. Like I said, we try to stay off the politics of Philippines here because they don't like you talking about the politics. Chuck Allen says, Steve, seems like lots of YouTube expats live in Dumaguete. Have you had a chance to visit there and compare to living in your area? No, I haven't. I've talked to a lot of people down there that have gone down there. Some people like it and some people don't. The thing that people don't like around there is there's way too many expats down there. And it gets kind of uncomfortable. Let's see, Roger Bing in Bingala Travel says, Marco's family has a long history with U.S. diplomatic relations. That relationship might be rekindled at this point in time. Let's hope. Sinful says, Gary Z's, yes, that is true, but at the same time, that is why China would be less likely to do any serious damage here. But I have talked to Filipinos, and at the end of the day, they will fight to the death. I agree with that, man. I don't think Filipinos would give in to China too quickly. China would take a lot of abuse, even from, I think some expats would probably jump into the fray. And I don't plan on going home, so, this is my country now as far as I'm concerned. I think I would stay here and I'd fight too. Sinful says to keep it. He didn't get to finish the first time. Sentinel says school shooting here is becoming rampant. It sickens me. I used to work in this as a school safety officer. They don't arm school safety officers, unfortunately. And that's the problem. They need an armed guard at the door, and that would stop a lot of that stuff. But because people are so anti-gun, they don't want guns in the school, so people take guns in the school, and what are you going to do? We actually, in Lawrence one time, we had a person walk into my school one time, and guns are not allowed in the school. But the guy walked into it. He was a guard, a corrections officer guard, and I told him, I said, you cannot come in here with a gun. I had to call a police officer over, and the police officer told him basically to, he's not allowed to come in with a gun. And he says, I totally forgot, man. I totally forgot. They just let him go. But it wasn't a big deal. But it was, when you see somebody come walking towards you with a gun, and then not a police officer, it's like you don't know what to do. But I knew the guy, so I knew he was kind of calm, cool, and collected. But it still scares you a little bit. Philip Jones, China is buying influence everywhere. They even have the largest solar farm in Texas. Mr. Brister says, how about hitting that like button, Steve? Tried to give you a super chat. Do you have that disabled due to any possible income conflicts? I don't talk politics here in the States. I don't put on super chat. I don't like stuff like that because it invites the trolls over here. The Philippines is the only place where you can't if you put super chat, you invite the trolls. I noticed there's some people here, they just love getting in your business, and that's one of the things that opens up to trolls. So super chat does it. I know they have a super thank you or something like that on there, but I don't know that much about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put that or not. I just tell people, watch my ads, and that helps me the most. So if you really want to help the channel and you want to help me, just let the ads play out, man. That's all I ask. I don't like to put the super chat and Patreon and all that stuff. I just think you invite a lot of grief. It has nothing to do with how much I make or income conflicts. No. Let's see here. Scott Yoon, U.S. won't be going diesel electric subs. I'm not so sure of that. I think we may in the future have some sort of diesel boats, but they'll be just for along the coast or to help places like Guam and stuff like that. I can see it happening. I'm not sure. There's been talks about it before, so I know it's been chatted about before amongst the higher ups. But we would probably still have the nukes and all the other stuff like that. But I think nuclear is going to go away sometime. Euro countries, especially Brits and Swedes, make world-class DE boats faster and cheaper to get diesel electric boats from them. Then can start up a whole new program. I think eventually we're going to see a new program in submarines for sure. Mark Richards says, what's your thoughts on the American government finally admitted UFOs are here? I think that felt kind of the crickets to most. It's kind of weird, but it did. I saw one in the daylight about 25 years ago. They have shut down nuclear missile silos. I've heard that before, and also over in Russia they did it too. And submarines. I remember hearing from a chief when I was in the military. I think it was the Norwal or some. It was a submarine. It was a fast attack that saw something back in the 70s. And we had a chief on our boat that saw one of the UFOs, and it went into the water. And apparently they took a picture of it. And when he was telling us the story, we thought he was full of crap until I got out of the military, and of course the internet started up, and then I saw it on there, and I was like, wow, that guy was telling me the truth. And I thought he was full of crap, but I remember him telling us that story, and we were like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, you saw a big UFO going into the water. We would have heard about that one. But no, we didn't hear about it till years and years later. Somebody must have leaked that information out. Lazy Larry says USA should keep a couple of aircraft carriers close to Taiwan. I agree. I think they will. But I'm not sure what sub that was. I want to say it was the Norway, but I could be wrong. Philip Jones says China even has built ports in the Bahamas, and the loans have come due. Now they own the ports, which was designed more as a naval base. I heard that also. That's very, very sad. Sinful says, Lazy Larry, yes, there's some present in the area. WDO7 007 says, "Hey Steve, I was a school security officer also in Ohio. Interesting job. I did it for about 20 years. I liked it. You know, there was a lot of issues with the higher ups there, as you do at any school place. I mean, we had a lot of people up top that were just jerks, just like you do in any job, though. You know. Let's see. Sentinel says, due to financial hardship, a lot of crook are stealing Amazon and other packages left on people's front doors. I heard about that. Actually, I heard about a guy. He got a brand new TV from Amazon, and he put his old TV that was broken. He put it back in the box, taped it all up, made it look real good. Put the box out front. Within 2 days, it was stolen with the old TV. So the crooks actually took away his trash, which was I thought was hilarious, and that was what he did to get back at him. There's actually a YouTube video on it, I think, too. That's where I saw it. Gringog says, you got to help so many in your work in the U.S., and you are carrying on your good deeds in the Philippines. Keep it up, Steve. Thanks, man. Sentinel says, the crooks also follow people from the malls, and they follow the victims until they get home, then rob and hurt their victims. Yes, sometimes that happens. James Franklin says, problem, some ads are they stack them or turn into infomercial. Yeah, I mean, if they turn into an infomercial, I don't expect anybody to watch a 45-minute or 20 or 30-minute infomercial or something like that. You just click off it then. You know what I mean? If I don't get the money, I don't get the money. I mean, I'm okay with that. See, JT says, is your group having a Christmas barbecue party? I am going to be in the PI in Christmas, and would love to attend to meet you guys. You know, we might actually do something like that. That's a good idea. I never thought about that, because now we have more people. Last Christmas we didn't have that many, but yeah, we might do. I don't know if we'll do a Christmas barbecue party. We might do something at Texas Roadhouse though. Get a couple of vans and take everybody there. Sentinel says, it's dangerous to wear nice things here nowadays. Yes. Not in the Philippines, though. Let's see. Sinful says, I have had my experience with UFOs in Arizona. I know in Arizona they see a lot out there. Gringog says, where is the peso going, Steve? Up or down? I read an article not too long ago, and they said it's that the dollar is going to be worth more, which means that you'd get more pesos for your dollar, I believe. So that's what I'm hearing. I instead of being like 52, it'd be like 57 from what they were talking about in the article. XXX says that's USOs, Steve. Yes, I believe that's what they call it. Vegan driver, naval, because they actually track that underwater too. Vegan driver says naval leadership has in recent years expressed preference towards getting more diesel electric subs. Yes. There are a lot of good reasons to have those in addition to our nuclear fleet. Yes, absolutely. Diesel electric are phenomenal. There's a lot of uses for those around the coast. They're not for long travel. You could use them for that, but they're not made for that. Mark Richards says, I live in Port Huron, Michigan, and Canada is our border, and saw the Great Lakes. There's been reports of UFOs coming out of the water. I've heard this from a very reliable source. Michael says, just show me one picture of a dead Bigfoot, then I'm a believer. Well, I'm not talking about Bigfoot, So, Justin in Arkansas says a pleasant difference. The Filipinos are very moral and honest. They know and live the 10 rules of life, rules the U.S. Supreme Court removed from the school walls, and that U.S. kids do not know anymore. I agree with that, Justin. You're right. Me and Justin kind of have a lot in common with both of our children. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I mean, a lot of people in the United States, they're losing their kids to all this stuff that's going on in the States, and I'm meeting a lot of expats that have that, and it's kind of sad actually, because a lot of the kids are leaving their families and just leaving them in the dust. They don't want to talk to their families and stuff, and it's terrible what I'm seeing in the United States. BJ, rumor has it that Elon Musk is developing submerged recharging stations. Never heard that one. Not sure why you would do that. Sinfuls, JT, just have a plan for extra day of travel at Christmas. LOL. A submerged recharging station, that ain't gonna work. Um, Chimiakus says, "Hi Steve, retiring in August, coming in December for first time, meeting my girlfriend for the first time after 18 months chatting online." Sinful says, "Justin in Arkansas, so true, Justin. Here are the odds of decency here the odds of decency far outweigh that in the U.S. now." Yes, they do. Tom Pear, I saw a UFO just last weekend. Ugly fat old lady. There we go. Let's see. Michael also says, "Justin in Arkansas, one does need religion to live a good life. However, a good training in ethics is needed in school." I agree. Sinful says, "Sure, submerged charging can be done via induction." I'm sure they could do something like that, but I mean, I don't think Elon Musk is talking about that, because I read up on Elon Musk quite a lot, and I've never heard of that stuff. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's working on that. I know he's got a lot of military stuff up his sleeve right now, and I know China is actually targeting his satellites up there, which is kind of funny too. So, but we're coming up on that 90 minutes, guys, and we are at the end right now here, and I'm gonna call it a night tonight, kind of early. I'll read a couple more and then we'll end it. Lazy Larry, Jim Marquis, tell your girlfriend that you are arriving a day later. This is so you can get a good night's sleep before you meet her and her family. I agree with that, man. If you guys are coming over here, give yourself a day to rest. Unless she's meeting you at the airport and you're gonna, go to a hotel right away and get some sleep, because you're gonna want to take a shower, because you usually stink when you hit the airport. Give yourself some time. Green Gog says, probably talking to someone else's girlfriend or wife if you are talking online. Never send money. JT, guys, I think that Musk comment was a joke. I think so too. Sinful says, good night, Steve. We'll chat you in a day or two. Okay, we'll talk to you soon, Sinfuls. I'm going to let you guys go. God bless, guys. We will probably be on here next week. If we're not on here next week for any reason, we will see you in 2 weeks. Okay, so 10 p.m. on Saturday nights. And if we're not on, just tune in a week later. We'll be on, because sometimes we get caught up in something and we can't make it on here. Sometimes I try to get on and do a weeknight show, but I haven't been able to do that much because we've just been so busy. Let's see. Justin says, we used to every day at school, do not kill. It became ingrained in mind, but kids do not know that now. Brooke Snyder says, night, Steve-O. Good night, Brooke. Brooke, if you want to stop by tomorrow, we have Dean Thompson stopping by. Sentinel, good night, Steve. Gary Z's, thank you. God bless. Safe Memorial Day, guys. Guys, God bless. Have a good night. Take care. All right, we'll see you guys soon.